Oh, hello. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How was everybody this evening? I am excited about tonight. Indeed, I am. Yes, I am very excited about tonight. Yes, I am. Yes. So, how's everybody doing? Beginning to share the video. Hi, everybody. I can hear myself. Let me go back. I don't really want to hear myself, but I'm going to have to, right? Right, everybody? Okay. Is that instrumental? Did you know how Facebook is? Hello, everybody. Waiting for some more people to come on. It's not instrumental? Because you know how they are. Is anybody else a Mary fan? You can't play the words. Can't play the words. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to start as soon as people come on. It's all because of you. Right? You are, what is it? Hi, everybody. I'm a Mary fan, everybody. Yes. So, you are my everything. I know I'm off key. Be quiet. Welcome to the Lady Mo Evening Show. This is Authors Week, and we have some extraordinary authors tonight. I know I'm not the only Mary fan. Let me tell you. I'm a Christian, but let me tell you, I went to a Mary J. concert, my sisters and I, and we were on the floor. And the guy next to us, it was hilarious. The guy next to us was calm because someone else came out prior to Mary. When Mary came out, let me tell you, this guy was crying and screaming and laying all over us. My sister said, "You need to get your brother." I said, "He is not my brother." It was hilarious. We were in DC. I think it was DC. One of her first, was it 2018, right after Aunt LaFawn passed, right? I think so. Yes. Yes, it was just, she's extraordinary. She's awesome. Mary J. I love Mary J. We're going to have our guests come on. And come on, everybody. Come on in. We need you to come on in. Come on in. We need you to come on in. Let's go. Let's go. We are on. Our author is in the holding room waiting for us. She is waiting to just, I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome. She is awesome. Let me make sure I'm doing this correctly. Yes. Begin to share the video. You're my everything. I'm so good, so good, so good, so good. Everything and everything is me. All right. We have author Lorraine. Play that again, please. Please play that again. Honey, just rewind it because that's my... We are here at the Lady Mo Show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining We are excited to see you. Say hello to me. Hey, Brenda, you from Florida? Oh, God, look, isn't that funny? God bless you. I love Mary. That's what we all say. We all say that. All right, so we want to hear any words. No words, because you know how they are. We're excited. I'm going to bring my guest on. One more minute. We're going to bring her in. Lorraine Williams is here tonight to talk about some things that we struggle with or challenge with. But she dealt with it head on, and she has wrote a book about it. And she's beautiful inside and excuse me, please no words. Instrumental. If you want to dance to Mary, I had turned my kids into a Mary thing. I mean, we can do a skit on Mary, and each one of my kids would do a video of their favorite Mary song. Yes. Oh, my daughter's over here dancing like Mary. She's doing this. You know how Mary go like this? She over here, and then she go. They tripping. I'm telling you, we are. I even got Pastor Tim with Mary. Mary is the bomb. I'm telling you. Yes. So we're gonna bring our guests in. We are ready. Hate to turn off Mary. I love you, Mary. I'll be back again. Soon, Mary. I'll be back. Let me bring our guest on. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
You look beautiful as usual. Is that a blouse or a dress?
It's a blouse,
Oh, I like that blouse.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like that. And the earrings. You just two flies. Those two earrings or one?
It's two. Well, it's one earring. It's one.
One is okay, one's a layer. Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Thank you. I was coming on your show, so
You look good all the time. You look good all the time.
You should come in my house at noon. I don't look like this.
You come to my house, you'll be praying. I like to walk around with no clothes. My kids are even doing it now. I said, we have to stop doing this.
It's your house.
Well, you started it.
It's your house. Your house, your rules.
My husband's like, this is ridiculous. There's too many of y'all walking around with things out and loose and moving around. What is going on? And my son, he's so used to it, he doesn't even pay us any attention. He just walks around.
Your house, your rules.
So how have you been?
All is well. All is well.
That's good. That's good.
Keeping it moving.
How are the girls doing?
They are well. They're back home. But
yeah.
Coming back into the nest.
Yeah.
But all is well. They'll be going again. So praise God.
Yes, praise God. Praise God. How's your husband doing?
Husband is well. Husband is doing well.
I see him working out. He's still buff.
He gonna do what he gotta do.
He looks good though, girl. He looks
do.
Good.
Thank God. Hallelujah.
So tell me about this book. Tell me about this book.
Yeah, so the book is called It's So Me. And it basically tells my journey. I have alopecia areata. This is not a fashion statement. And alopecia.
Wait, one more time. What is it called? Because I tried to pronounce it. I said I'm gonna let her do it.
Yeah. So it's alopecia areata. It is an autoimmune disease. It causes one's hair to fall out. The version I have, my hair grows in patches, so it'll grow and then fall out, grow and then fall out. That's just too much emotional stuff for me. So I just decided to cut it off. But I wanted to tell people in my book about how I actually got there because, as well as any other sister on this call or on this video today, we have these issues with our hair in our community. We are so attached to our hair. It's so much of our identity.
Yes.
And so it was a long journey, and people who meet me now always comment on, you're so bold and you're so brave. And I'm like, no, sis, you don't know my story. And I said it so many times. I was like, maybe I need to write it down because it was a process to becoming Bald Girl. And Bald Girl is my brand, where I basically walk with women and talk to women and help them kind of accept themselves the way they are, because we are all beautiful in our own way. I don't see my bald head as a flaw anymore.
Is it baldgirl.com.org?
Bald Girl Inc. Bald Girl
And
Inc. Yeah, it's because I always say, if you listen to, I have a podcast called Conversations with Bald Girl, and I always tell them I am Lorraine Williams of baldgirlinc.com, your redefining beauty consultant. Because what I'm trying to do is help women redefine beauty for themselves, not allow other people to define beauty for them, for yourself. So that's what it's basically about. This book is all about my journey. Yeah, and it just helps people see through my journey, they can see that, we are just the way we are created, we are beautiful in our own way.
let me ask you this first, because I'm sure that many people would think that you had cancer, right? How many times
And
did that happen to you?
a lot in the beginning when I first cut my hair off, because okay, so I've been doing this now, I want to say 9, 10 years. So
Hmm.
then it wasn't fashionably correct to have a bald head. Like people
Wait
would
a minute,
miss.
9 to 10 years?
It's been about that long, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I remember you had long, beautiful hair. I remember.
Long, beautiful weave, honey. I was the weave queen. I was the weave queen. And I was good at it, And so, yeah. So most people, if they meet me now, they just assume a lot. And so a lot of people, if they went in the beginning, 10 years ago, they would say, oh, I used to run. And so the funny thing is we would be at races raising money for breast cancer, and people would be like, I'm doing it for you. And I'm like, no, you're not. Because but good, I'm glad you run and you make, raising these
Yeah.
funds, but since that's not my challenge. And so yeah, people make a lot of assumptions now that, natural hair is a little more common. You see women with bald heads now. Black Panther made it popular.
Hmm.
So it's not as taboo. But my thing to women is what happens when it's not a fad anymore. There are women who hide with alopecia. So it's not as
Yeah.
common, but there are millions of us with alopecia, men included.
How do you
And
spell it? How do you spell it?
alopecia, Alopecia.
Okay.
And there's so many different types of alopecia. I always tell people you don't need hair to breathe, but there is a strand of alopecia that's a little bit more challenging, and that's alopecia universale. And these
Wow.
people that have this type of alopecia, imagine not having eyelashes or ear hair or skin on your arms or legs. That hair is there for a reason. It protects you from the environment. And when they don't have that, they have different challenges. I,
Hmm.
on the other hand, am fortunate that I just lost my hair on my head. And we can rock that. We can work with a bald head.
Hmm. Hmm. So tell me, because we see you now, and we're looking at you, and you have overcome that. But tell me that process, because you mentioned one major thing is that we as women are, our hair appears to be everything to some of us.
Oh, absolutely.
Appearance, because you mentioned you losing your eye, not you, but some people losing their eyelashes, and things like that, and their
Mhm.
eyebrows. What was that process like for you?
Well, it was it was long, it was hard, and I made it harder than I needed to. So when I was 25, 24, a month before my wedding and 2 months before my 25th birthday, I noticed my first bald spot. I thought it was stress. By the time we were married a year, that bald spot had turned into a huge circle. But because I was such the weave queen, we can cover it up. And that's basically what we do a lot of times in life when we find a problem, we cover it up instead of trying to figure out what is causing this problem. And so for 10 years or more, about 12 years, I covered it up. So the only thing that happens is it got worse. I came to a point where initially I was running a lot, and weave costs money. Going to get you, going to get your weave done, right. I don't mean
Yeah.
in the kitchen. I mean getting it done right costs. And so when I started running long distance, like 10 miles and things like that, you sweat, and the sweat, you know what I mean, smells. And I'm like, that's not happening over here. That's not cute. And so I had to learn how to do it myself because how you gonna, it's expensive. And so with that process, because I hadn't dealt with the alopecia, it was horrible. So I have to lock myself in the bathroom. My family never saw my head. It was just a mess. It was just a whole bunch of hiding. And I share a lot of that in the book. But one day, with the weave and then the expense, I just was like, I really just want to be free from this. But remember, we're in the church. At the time, we were just starting our church. I'm like, church people don't understand a ball, not, they got their own book for how first ladies
Yes,
are
yes.
supposed to act. And I already don't fit in that book. And now I don't have no hair. And so it was just so many things going on. And I decided that I needed to do what was best for Lorraine. And so I had a conversation with my family. I told them I wanted to cut my hair off. And I was nervous because we do things as a team. To me, this was a major decision that was going to affect everyone in the household. The girls were in school at the time. And I was like, if I do this, I'm all in. So me personally, I'm either all in or I'm not in at all. And so I said, if I shave my head, I'm coming to the school. I'm coming to your track meets. This is how I'm going to show up. And my kids were like spitting back to me things I had said to them as they were growing up. You told us to accept ourselves the way we are. You told us we were good enough. You told us that we, we're perfect just the way we are. So now you telling us you have a problem with what you said to us. And I was like, well, sis, wait. It's true. But they were like, but what? There's no buts. And then my husband kind of icing the cake by saying, we're not going to be happy unless you're happy. If that's what's going to make you happy, then you need to do it. And so with all of the good counsel, I took a good girlfriend of mine with me to her barber, and I went with my head wrapped up, and I told him just make it nice and neat. And he's looking at me like, well, that means I'm gonna have to cut it off. And I was like, I know. So he shaves it off, and my girlfriend gives me my scarf back so we can leave. And I said, I think I want to go outside now. My head had not felt air in 10 years, right? So
Wow.
I'm like, I go outside and it's like the angels are singing, the air's on my scalp. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And that was the first step. Yes, I went outside that day, but the next day I was scared. So it was like a process. One day I would go to the bottom of the steps outside. And then the next day I would go to my car. And then each day I went a little bit further and a little bit further. Going to work was, a challenge. Going to family functions was different, because everyone knew me like you did with hair. And it was always cute. You know what I mean? It stayed cute, whether it was long or whether it was short. And I changed it up all the time. So now I kind of get that diversity with my earrings because I don't have that anymore. But I've learned that if I had not accepted that, I would be denying who I am. This is how my hair is. We have a problem with accepting who we are. This is a part of who I am. And it opened up so many opportunities for me when I decided that I'm okay with who I am. And it seems trivial because it's hair, but everyone has something that's holding them back from being who they're supposed to be. Yeah.
Wow. And tell me the name of the book because I thought it was something else.
It's called It's So Me.
Oh, it's so you.
Yes.
Oh, it's so me.
Yes.
It's so me. Okay. And how much is the book?
So the book is $14.98.
And where can they order it?
You can purchase the book at LorraineMWilliams.com, and that's LorraineMWilliams.com.
I'm typing that in so people can order the book.
Yeah.
And you hear your story. Now, what about your relationship with your husband? He was fine with it?
He was great with it.
Were you uncomfortable at first?
Oh, absolutely. Because he never saw in the book I call it the shame. So he never saw the shame. Like I kept it covered. So when I started weaving it myself, they knew that this Saturday evening for 2 hours, I would be locked in the bathroom. That was my time to take it out and put it back in. So he never saw it. He heard me complain about it. He heard me talk about it, but I could never imagine him seeing it. And I talk a lot about, there's a chapter in the book called For Men Only, because men don't realize how much influence they have on this hair issue that we
Yeah.
have. I meet women all the time who have alopecia or some type of hair issue, and they'll say, "I wish I could do that." And I'm like, "Well, you could." They're like, "No, child, my husband is not, or my man is not, or And I'm just like, "No, but it would help you feel better about yourself. Why wouldn't he be okay with it?" And so I've had those conversations with my husband because it was easy for him, and he said, "I didn't marry you for your hair." Although he loves the bald head, like he's the biggest cheerleader. I think it's
Wow.
because it saves him so much money. Well, that's part of it because my husband is honestly has been my biggest supporter in whatever I've done. So when I wanted to have the braids or I wanted whatever I wanted, he always supplied it. He was like, "Well, here you go, you can go do it." And when I decided to cut it, I was concerned because really he was starting ministry. And I'm like, "How are you going to feel? How do you feel about your friends?" And he was like, I care about you later for that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Okay." And he saw how confident I became once I shaved it off. And I can't explain how the feeling is once you step into who you're supposed to be. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
else really matters. It really
Wow.
doesn't. And honestly, I had concerns about what other people would say. That was my thing to them. Like, what are your friends gonna say? What is this one gonna say? And honestly, what I found out was nobody cared. um, Nobody cared. Like when I cut my hair off and we left the barbershop, I had my whole spiel, plans out. Somebody look at me, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be ready. So nobody paid me no mind. Nobody. And I was
Wow.
like, I kept myself in bondage for years because of some lie I had told myself.
Mm, mm, mm.
So yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow. That
exactly.
sounds so liberating. And it sounds like God took you through a process, but the process on the end, you just came out stronger and
Exactly.
you were able to even connect with yourself even more. And I
Exactly.
like what you said is that going through this process gave you more confidence.
It
So
absolutely
are
did.
you telling the viewers, because they're listening, are you telling the viewers that when you step into who you are, that the confidence level that you have will be greater than it was prior?
10 times greater because
Mm,
now you know what to do with those things that are placed on the inside of you. Like there were always things I wanted to do, things I wanted to try, but it was always something like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that," or God will show you something, you're like, "How am I supposed to do that?" But with once I became confident in who I was or accepted who I
mhm.
was, it was almost like something switched in my brain. Like you
Wow.
can do that. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it does sound crazy, but it was really as simple as that. Once I rested in who I was, and that's what it is. It was a rest. Like, okay, this is okay. And there are people waiting. We hear people say that all the time. There are people waiting for you. There were literally people waiting for me. My daughter was an art teacher shortly thereafter. And
Mm.
she was like, "This girl in my class wears a wig." And my daughter was teaching second grade. Well, we knew, she said, "Ma, I know she has alopecia." She was like, "Would you come talk to her?" So I come to the school and I talk to her. And, I come to lunch. We have lunch. All her friends are looking and watching. And, she had been bullied, snatching her wig, snatching her scarf, all kinds of stuff. She's in the second grade. And so I have lunch, and the next day, I get a call from the principal. So I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh Lord." So the principal says, "I don't know what you said to her, but she came to school today without her wig, and she said, 'Y'all gonna take me this way or not at all?'" And I was like, "Are
oh
you
my
kidding?"
God.
Right? It was like every time I remember that, it just gives me chills because all we did was talk. She asked me about, how I felt. She asked me about how I made the decision. She shared her fears, her concerns, and we talked through them. It was just a matter of me sharing myself, our testimonies,
Hmm.
sharing. And when we did that, she became a mentee. Now you see her, she looks
Wow.
like a model. She's graduated high school. She's going somewherever she is, but she's like so different because she's accepted that this is it. It's not about hair. It's
Hmm.
really not. It's really not. So yeah.
And what you said, oh my gosh, we don't understand how powerful our testimony is
We
if
don't.
we don't share it.
And you
But if
won't
we
know
don't
until you
get,
share
that's right. So if we don't step into who we are, like you said, people are waiting.
it. Mm-hmm.
People are waiting for the answers, and we have the answers. If we
Absolutely.
don't move in purpose and identify what God is telling us to do, gosh,
Yeah.
second grade?
She was in second grade, and now she is a senior. She's a senior in high school.
Wow,
Beautiful girl. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I have noticed a difference in you from before.
I'm
I
sure.
really have. I mean, I know, really have.
Yeah.
And, I didn't assume it was from this situation. I just thought she just is blossoming and she's doing different things, but your spirit is different.
Yeah,
Your
because
spirit.
because now you know who you are. We talk about it all the time,
Yes.
but when you experience it, it's like, oh, that's what they were trying to say. Yeah, it's a journey that you have to go through for yourself. And
And how many women, if they release themselves from just hair, just no, serious, just from hair,
yeah,
the
yeah,
hair situation.
yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
It really is. And I know, like, I meet people again who say, well, can you talk to my friend because she has alopecia? And I'm like, listen, it's her journey. And honestly, this isn't for everyone. I don't want everybody who has a hair challenge to go shave their hair off. That's not my mission. If you are into wearing wigs, rock your wig. I'm saying be confident in who you are. Don't allow anyone else to define you. You have to allow God to define you, and you walk that out. And a lot of times we step into what's the box that society sets for us. Society
Yes,
says this is how you should look, this is how you should talk, and we do
absolutely.
it just like
Hmm.
we've been brainwashed. We just go into it, and when someone
Yes,
steps outside of that box, it's like, whoa, what is she doing? Why does she do that? Oh, she's bold. How am I bold walking around in my natural state? This is my natural state. Why do we celebrate somebody doing something natural?
absolutely.
I just,
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't get it. I
Let me
don't get
ask you about that lipstick. What lipstick is
it.
that?
This
Mhm.
is Mac.
Oh, it's a man. I haven't been in the store in a while.
I
I need to go
listen.
and get
So
some.
someone, I my birthday passed in September, and someone gifted me a gift card online. I was like, let me try this new thing. So this is it. It's
Okay.
called Burning with Love. Burning
Is it,
Love.
does it stay on all day?
It's a Mac because I can't.
Okay.
I'm drinking water. I'm sipping tea, and I
Okay. I'm
get on
not
the
gonna get that
video.
tomorrow. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
tomorrow. Y'all get
Burning
that.
Love.
Get that. Burning love. So, I just want to, just thank you for just allowing God to use you. I know the process was challenging, but I was praying for you, didn't know
I appreciate
why I was.
it. Thank you
And
so
I
much.
found out when you came out and started talking about it that a friend of mine that I've known for years and went to church with, and she was like, "Yeah, girl, Mo, you didn't know I had the same thing." And I'm like, "What? I just thought you were." I
Yeah,
was in shock.
yeah. It
And she did it
does.
a couple times. She wore bald, and I was like, "Okay." And she put her wig back on,
I think I
and
know who your friend is. I think I
you
know.
probably do.
And she told me, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I think I did. I send you her information. I
you
think I
did. We
yes,
connected. Yes,
yes,
yeah.
yes. When she told me, I was in
Hmm.
shock.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm just grateful that you allowed God to take you through that process for you to help other people.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, they may not go all the way like you went, but knowing who you are is the key.
It's the key. And knowing who you are, you're okay with putting on a wig today and maybe not
Yes,
tomorrow. You know what I mean?
yes,
It's okay.
yes.
It's okay because we should not all be the same. We should stop trying to fit into this one size fits all beauty because it's
Mhm.
not that. It's not. We need to see different shades of our
Yes.
beauty, you
And
know?
I'm going to confess because I've never had short hair before in my life.
Hmm.
And when TJ, my second son, was born, and my husband went in the hospital, I went and chopped my hair off. I cried for a month. I never had short hair before.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought I didn't look right. I was like, this
It's
doesn't even look like
different.
me. And it
It's
was like, it wasn't even flowing. People's hair is short. It was, my hair was like tore up. Maybe it was the person who did it. And the hair is a lot. Hair is a lot. Yeah, I'm
hair is
telling
a
you.
lot. And even with this short, even with me not having hair, people say, "Oh, well, you have the perfect head." And I always say, God knew.
I'm telling you, you do.
So he spent a little bit of time on this little
For
on
some
this
people,
peanut.
yeah, their
Right,
hair is not shaped for it.
right.
Yes,
So go ahead
yes.
and put your wig on or weave, whatever you do.
So the book is, it's me. I'm typing.
It's so me.
It's so me. And
Mhm.
they can go to your website, or you want
Yep.
them to
It's
go,
a website. Yep.
give me the website one more time. I'm typing it in.
It's LORR
Oh, Lorraine M. I got it.
M
Williams.
Williams.
And what's the rest of it?
.com. Lorraine M Williams.com.
And it's $14.98. I need everybody to go out and buy this book immediately. They're perfect stuffing, stocking stuffer. And let me tell you, the cover is off the chain. No, that cover is off the chain.
So I have
I'm
to
telling
tell
you.
you about the cover. So
Tell
this
me about the cover, girl. That cover is slamming.
picture actually was taken. I did a last Christmas. I did a photo shoot for my husband. And the photographer is local. I did.
I didn't
Um,
do that.
you gotta keep it
Yes.
up. So the photographer is local. Her name is Celeste Jones. I love her dearly. So when she took the picture, when I saw this picture, I was like, I have to do something with this picture. I wasn't yet into writing a book. So I wasn't sure it was going to be the book cover, but so when it was time to do the book cover, they were sending me stuff, and I'm like, I don't like that. I have something, and I sent her the picture, and they were like, that's it. So that's where it
Wow.
comes from. Yeah.
Tell some viewers that are sitting on a story right now and they're afraid to start writing. They don't know what people are going to think, or they're just scared, or just don't even know how to write. Encourage them on sharing their story on tablets.
Yeah, it's important to get it out, because again, people are waiting. I was afraid too. Honestly, I sat on this book for, I don't know, 8 years. I set it on the shelf and I kept pulling it down and putting it back up. I eventually hired a coach and we did it in 5 weeks. She put me on a tight schedule and I got it out. But people need to hear your story. You never know what people are going through. You never know who you're going to touch, and you won't know until you put it out there. And if God has put it in your spirit, if it keeps coming up, that is Him telling you it to get it out, and you just get it out, and you put it out there, and you let God do what He's going to do. And I think all of us have a story. We can learn from everybody.
Mhm.
It's funny because someone said, I read your book and I had Barack's book sitting there. And I said, now come on, don't flatter me like that. Don't flatter. But I mean, we all have a story and it needs to be heard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, you don't know who's waiting to hear your story and what opportunities lie ahead or
Yes.
behind that story. You don't
Yes.
know. And you
Yes.
won't. That could be your way out of whatever you're going through. But
Mhm.
unless you take that step of faith, you'll never know.
Wow, this is powerful. I thank you so much for coming
Oh, thank you.
on our show tonight. I'm going to continue to pray and lift you up, even though I don't have to, because God is definitely. I'm telling you that cover. If people just buy from the cover, the
Yeah,
cover,
they
the
got a
cover
lot of feedback.
that
I've
cover
got a
is
lot
just
of
right.
feedback.
Yes, I don't know how you're going to do the next cover. You got to do another photo shoot.
I know we have tons of pictures. So
Oh, okay, good. But thank you so much. Make sure you send me my copy.
absolutely,
Um, I can cash app you so I can get my. I need my copy.
absolutely.
Give it
I'll
my
sign you.
library.
I will sign
Yeah.
you.
Oh, I want to sign. That's right. Don't play. The hot pink now, or the blue, because you have blue on the cover.
Yes,
So the blue or hot pink with
I
mine.
got you. I got you.
But thank you
I
so much. Oh,
got happy.
but thank you so much, and I love you,
Love
and
you
give your
too.
family our love. Take
I
care.
do.
All right.
Thank you. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye bye. Oh my gosh, wasn't she fantastic? Wow, I'm telling you. I told you this week is going to be hot. Our next guest is in the queue waiting to join us. I got to get that lipstick from Mac. I'm going tomorrow to get that lipstick from Mac. I got to get that lipstick because this one, no, I need to get that lipstick from MAC tomorrow. I'm going to send my daughter over there to get it. And thank her so much for coming on the show. Her name is Lorraine Williams. Please go LorraineNWilliams.com and order her book, It's So Me. And she was fantastic. As you can see, she's energetic. Her personality she's just beautiful. She's beautiful inside out. But our next guest is here, Kiera Moore, and she's going to share with us insight on her book. Hi, Tamara. How are you? She was awesome, wasn't she? So share the video, everybody. Share the video. But while we're waiting for her, because she's in, I got to play one more time, y'all. We just got to do it one more time. Oh, I don't know if it's going to work. Where's my studio? Where's my studio person? Let's see, y'all. 1 second. I think that's a commercial because we started off with Mary. Y'all know Mary. Mary is who's Mary? Come on. Mary. Let's see. I don't think that's it. Giovanna. She's going to do it for me. I guess. I'll wait till she comes back. She can fix it for me. But our guest is in the queue. She's waiting for us. Her name is Kiera Moore, and she's wrote an awesome book, and we are excited to hear from her. We'll do a Mary. I'm trying to get a Mary in here before we go on. Let me see. I'm going to bring her on. What's her name? I'm talking to my baby, everybody. Trying to see, tell her to come here for me in my studio. All right. So we're going to bring our next guest on. Okay. She's coming on. Her name is Kiera Moore. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the Lady Mo Show. Thank you. I love the background.
Thank you.
I had made a big piece of pattern with flowers just like that. It is rolled up under my bed for about 8 years. Now I'm going to have to pull it out and put it in my studio. I know. It's beautiful. Honey, fix my Mary. It's not on there. Well, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for opening up your schedule to fit us in. We're excited to hear. I'm telling you, I need some organization. I'm telling you, I may be organized in some areas, but some areas I just don't have it together. And I'm just going like this. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Just give me a dumpster. I'm telling you, I need a dumpster. I don't need bags. I need a dumpster. I'm serious. So welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Kiera Moore. I'm a licensed mental health therapist. I am full-time at on-site at a middle school, but I have my own private practice, Kiera Moore Therapeutic Services, based in Delaware, where I treat adults, children, families, and couples for any mental health, stress, anything of that nature. I just finished a day full of sessions. So you caught me at a good time. I was like, perfect. So I'm a licensed mental health therapist in the state of Delaware. And during the pandemic, I published 4 books that I was just listening to the end of the last author. My books are also collecting dust. I have one that I revised from 7 years ago and one that's been sitting on my computer for 5 years. So being forced to sit down definitely allowed me the opportunity to share that. And I'm working on number 5 right now.
Wow. I thought I have 73 books that I have not written. I've only written 2, but I have about 3 halfway done. I'm telling you, I need some help. I need to come in.
Yes. Well,
so what inspired you to write this particular book?
So I'm not exactly sure which one you're talking about. You're talking about the planner, or you?
Yes.
Okay. So the planner came from, because I have a planner, I have self-esteem and negative thought workbooks, and I have a children's book on managing anger and like beginning of coping, learning how to manage your emotions.
Mhm.
So I do have, I can talk about them all briefly if you want, but this self-care, the Pursuit of Productivity planner,
I like that one.
that was based out of my own experience. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Woo.
I'm not
Okay.
sure. I lost you for a second. But a few years ago,
it's called the
Pursuit of Productivity planner. I don't know if it's going to be backwards or not, but this is.
Yeah, I see. I love it.
So a few years ago, well, I've always been very busy. Always have so much to do, which is exactly why my 5th book is going to be Drop Your Cape. we all walking around like we Superwoman, and we have to recognize our humanity and know when to sit down. So in my Superwoman stage, I had so much to do, and I just could not find a planner big enough for everything that I was doing. So, but I also wanted to get out of this this little rut I would get in where I would just be extremely lazy and unmotivated. I very much work on the burst of creative energy that I get at times, which is not a long-term way of doing things. So studying just, things that can help with productivity, I came up with a few tips for that. But anyone else if you follow me on social media, I'm a huge advocate for self-care. I sponsor self-care events in the community all the time. And so I always post motivational and self-care posts and information. So I decided in all that I was doing to just create my own planner because I couldn't find one. So there's a space for work. There's a space for home. There's a self-care page where you create your self-care plan to keep yourself accountable. Because we all say what we're going to do, but we have no one holding us accountable, right? And there are blank spaces if you are an entrepreneur. Like for myself, I'm heavily involved in my church. I'm an entrepreneur. I work full time. I'm a mom and wife. So I needed something to compile and organize all of that stuff. But the self-care piece of it that was what was most important. So I like to say that this planner is for the enterprising woman to keep her life together.
Oh, wonderful. We all need that because I know I try to be Superwoman. And some days I'm just saying, Lord, give me strength.
Yes.
Just to make it to the bed, because I'm telling you, you're a mother, you're doing you're trying to be everything to everyone.
And that's what we have to work on, because we can't be everything to everyone all the time, right? And one thing that I have been really kind of meditating on recently is not asking God for the things that he's already given us the power to overcome. Okay, yes, we definitely need him and we should seek him in everything that we do. But some things he's already given us the power to handle. We're just not handling it.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you one thing, I would rather me listen to my body and say, go sit down and get some rest, than for God to be like, oh, you're not going to listen to the cues I sent? Like, I'm going to go sit you down. Right. So it's important for us to make sure that we recognize he's already given us so many tools to say, you know what, I'm going to let him handle that for you because that's out of my scope. That's not my area of expertise. That's between you and him. I can't fix that for you.
Now, you mentioned one book about self-esteem. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Absolutely. So it's called Start With Your Thoughts, and it's a workbook to improve self-esteem and eliminate negative thinking. And there's an adult and a teen version. And all of my books are available on Amazon.
Okay.
So Start With Your Thoughts. As a mental health therapist, and for a period of time, I worked primarily with kids and adolescents, and self-esteem, especially for young girls, is something that it is just reoccurring. It's always something that I work with them on, because what and how you feel about yourself is going to be directly related to how you behave.
Okay.
You know, if you love and respect yourself, you're going to behave in a loving and respectful way. When you don't love yourself, then you allow yourself to do things that you probably wouldn't really be proud of, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the workbook, it talks about overall wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interactive workbook. So it's going to make you do the work, right? So what it does is it starts with a content area. So for example, it might talk about what triggers are. And then there's a section on mindfulness to kind of just help with your nerves or anxiety before or after. Because when you're doing the work, it's an ugly process, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be fun when you're realizing that there's some things that are in you that you need to change.
Yeah.
And so then there are activities to do to work on it. So if the topic is on triggers, then there's a section to help you figure out what your triggers are. If someone, yells at you, do you shut down? Do you lash out? Do you respond in an explosive way? What happens when someone does X, Y, and Z? And what are the patterns in your life that cause you to behave in a way that's not productive? Mm-hmm. So workbook, there's several activities, maybe about 15 to 20 activities, and the focus is on overall wellness, overall emotional and mental wellness. And there is a teen version so that like the examples and the content is broken down even further for them to understand.
Wow, that's wonderful. So you have a teen version.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Negative thoughts, your thinking affects your behavior. There's all consequence to your behavior, positive or negative. And it's just this continuous cycle where, if you act out in a negative way, there's going to be a negative consequence, which is going to make you feel even worse. So you're just going to continue this negative path. And until someone comes along to say, hey, let's break this pattern, right? Let's try something different. And these books can be used whether or not you are in therapy. I'm an advocate for seeking professional help. Because we're just here to help, right? And nothing has to be, you don't have to have something extremely wrong for you to seek help. You just, if there's something going on in your life that you're not happy with and you're not sure how to change it, then you can go and seek professional help, and we'll help you with that also. So this can be used in or out of therapy.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And what about your other books that you have?
So the last one is called When I'm Angry. And this is kind of like an introduction to emotions. And I wrote this book 5 years ago when I was an intensive outpatient therapist, where we had children as young as 4 and as old as 18. And helping, a child understand what they're feeling and why they may be feeling that way. I didn't have a lot of resources. And so I wrote the book, but I didn't have the knowledge at the time to publish it. So thankfully, with the help of my wonderful publisher, I was able to get all of these books out. And this just talks about, what may make us angry, how anger is a natural response, but how we have the responsibility to respond to that stimulus in a way that is effective, right? So it talks about things that you can do when you become angry. And then it also generalizes it to whether you're angry, sad, scared, or nervous. And so it's an introduction to young kids of it's okay to be upset because you're human. We all get upset. But it's not okay to hit. It's not okay to kick. It's not okay to spit. But it is okay to find something that helps you calm down, whether it's, counting to 10 or blowing up a balloon, getting that energy out and then saying, okay, I'm ready to talk about it now. So it's a very introductory book to emotions, but it's so funny. I got some reviews this week, and there was a lady who said she overheard her son tell her daughter that she needed to use her coping skills because she was crying, and he went and got her the book and said, pick one.
Wow.
So it was just really amazing.
What's the age for that book, the age bracket?
I would say about, I think kids as young as 3 or 4 would understand. My son is 2, and we read the book. And my son, he's a character. But I think even teaching these principles to him at 2, he's starting to learn that. He'll be 3 in January. So he's at that transition, that developmental stage where it's kind of like, okay, you're old enough to know that this is not okay, but you're not old enough to clearly understand why you can't do X, Y, and Z. And so being able to teach, I understand you're angry that I told you no, but these are the right things to do when you're angry, and these are inappropriate. So I don't believe there is any age limit on when to teach how to respond in a positive and appropriate way.
Yeah. Do you have a stack of those at your house?
I do. I have to check. I know I had some. Okay. I know I have at least a few. I have a shipment on the way, but like I said, everything's available on Amazon, or I do have some that are available for pickup.
Okay, if you're yes, because we have about 21 families that been adopted, and we're working at a school. So I'm thinking, especially during this time, that we need to get those books in the hands.
That would be amazing. And honestly, with this one and even the teen book, like that's something maybe we can work that out. I would definitely love that. That's one of the things that I would like to do is give these, like, especially make them available to elementary and middle schools. I'm at a middle school full time, and the things that these kids and teens experience in their life, some people would never believe the horror that goes on in some of these kids' lives. And they're expected to come to school every day and function as if they're not living through these traumatic experiences. And so having something where they can express themselves, or at least understand, okay, this makes sense as to why I'm so angry, right?
And, I just appreciate that, you're working full time, you're a wife, you're a mother, and you still make time to write books for us, because there's so many people that are hurting that needed to hear. I heard the self-esteem. I mean, just all 3 of those books I need to have in my library. I need to give those books out. We need to really rest. I mean, I'm rested now. I had a rough Thanksgiving week because I was so busy. But I'm waking up and I'm still excited. And I remember years ago when I was raising my children, I had 4, and I felt so trapped that I couldn't do right. I couldn't do anything because I was taking care of the kids. My husband was traveling a lot. And I used to get so upset to see women that were working. I went to college. I was supposed to be doing this and doing that. And I felt I was stuck home with the children. Now I'm glad, but you're just an inspiration to us all. People are typing in, they want to get the teen book.
Absolutely.
They're going to contact you.
I can post everything in the chat.
Okay.
But like I said, everything, if you type in my name, Kiera Moore, on Amazon, they should all come up. But I'm going to I'll put all of the links in there. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram, Facebook. You can follow me at Kiera Moore Therapeutic Services, and I'll also put that in there if you like. And Self-Care Sound Mind Events. That is my the platform that I use to promote my self-care events. And that's something that I started to hold myself accountable, where it was like every other month I would plan something, and no matter how many people showed up, we were going to do something self-care related. And recently, once things kind of lifted during the with the pandemic, I was able to get back into that. We're going back into kind of like the virtual setting now, but when you are doing all these things, when you have goals and aspirations, whether you're a parent or you're a student or you're just single but still living in a pandemic. You still need self-care. You still need a decent work-life balance. And everybody's journey is different, and everybody's not at the same phase in their life. Some people are building, some people are established, some people are still in that, very foundational process. But wherever you are, even if it's like 15 minutes a day where you get to sit down and not do anything. This morning, I got up yesterday and today because I tried to start again after the holiday at 4:45 to give myself a good 10 minutes to wake up and a good half an hour to exercise and have half an hour to myself and with God before I start listening to people all day long.
Yeah.
And that makes such a difference in my day. When I don't need to do that, I feel it. That time for me is important. But guess what? I have to sacrifice a little bit of sleep in order for that to happen. And that's okay. But maybe in a year, my employment, my businesses, things might be a little different. And I might be able to get up at 8 o'clock and have a whole hour before I have to do it. So doing whatever works for you to get what you need is vital.
Okay, wonderful. You were just fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. And let me type it in for you. Well, you can type it in as soon as you hang up. You're going to go on the chat, correct?
Yes. And I'll go right on. I shared it on my page also. So
okay, great. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on our show. You are beautiful inside and out. We're going to buy your books. They're nice stocking stuffers. And it's just, you're just wonderful. But thank you so much. And we appreciate it. Don't forget to take my books and put them aside.
I will.
I'm going to email you. All right. Thank you. Take care. Oh my goodness. We've had a good night. I'm telling you, we've had a good night. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight to the Lady Mo Show. We've had 2 fantastic authors tonight. And tomorrow night, we have Dr. Chevelta Smith tomorrow at 6:30. Make sure you're tuning in for tomorrow. We're excited. And then on Thursday, let's see who we have on Thursday. I have to remind myself who we have on Thursday. Let's see. On Thursday, we have George Williams, and we're excited about that. Thank you so much, Tamara. Please tune in tomorrow and Thursday. And Friday, we have Shay Fawcett. Saturday morning, Nikita. And we may have some other guests as well that may be coming in. So thank you all for tuning in. Kiera put all her information up. So thank you all so much for tuning in to the Lady Mo Show. If you want to send me an email, some suggestions on who we should have on our show, what topics we should discuss, you can email me at askladymo@gmail.com, or you can email me at ladymo@hgmde.org. Let me repeat that. askladymo@gmail.com or ladymo@hgmde.org, or you can text me because I'm a texter. 302-363-3681. We're supposed to go out on Mary, but I don't know where my daughter is. She's supposed to be working on getting this done for me. I told you it was going to be next week. Next week, we're going to be doing Empowerment Encouragement Week. Thank you, Brenda, for tuning in. Next week is going to be powerful. We're going to help you get back on track. We're going to help you decide if you're going to be the entrepreneur, you're going to change careers. What are you going to do? We're going to be pushing you. Focus on getting it done, being all you can be, being the best person you can be, jumping out there, or jumping off, as Steve Harvey says, jumping off the cliff. What are you going to do for 2021? We're going to be getting you ready to go and jump. Everybody, we love you. I love you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening. Take care.